Are our Zoomers with us? And can we get, and can we, excellent, yay. Now, and do a check with her to see if she can hear us clearly. Is there a way she can also maybe text in or something on there? What is that message? Zoom message? Betsy, can you hear us over the Zoom? Somehow indicate with a raised hand or a message on Zoom if you can hear us. Please let us know.
Well, our audio meters are working, so I'm going to say that she can hear us.
Okay, is there a way that she can...
And she would just chat. She's not chatting.
Betsy, if you can hear us, please chat and let us know you hear us. We need to check on you. Make sure our Zoomers can hear us, please. Either chat or raise your hand or something to indicate that you can hear us.
Yes, you can hear, but muffled,
Okay, she says she can hear, but.
chaotic, except for whoever is speaking.
Oh, okay, right, so that way we...
Quiet, so we should be good.
Great, so thank you everyone for coming. We're going to open the meeting now. I'm going to call to order. Our time is 4:18 and it is, what day are we on? June 4th, 2025. The first matter of business, I would like to introduce myself as the new chair. My name is Maria Kahn, and we have Holly Harris, Angela Emerald, and
What's his face?
the old guy that's been here forever, Jim Burton. So, no offense, Jim, I'm sorry. It's been a long day so far, lots of checking going on. Okay, so I would also like to say if you are going to make a comment or have a question, to please get on a microphone so that we can have it recorded and that the people on Zoom will hear the questions and everyone knows what we're talking about. So just to make sure that you get up to a microphone if you're going to speak. Thank you. So we've got our roll call already. It looks like everyone is here. Do I have to actually call everyone's names?
Yeah.
Okay, so I myself, Maria's here. Angela?
Here.
Denise? Not here, excused. Jim Burton?
Yes.
And Holly Harris?
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move into public input, where you get 3 minutes to discuss any item that is not on the schedule, within the jurisdiction that is not on this agenda. So is anybody...
Yeah.
And make sure you please state your name when you approach the podium. Thank you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Sterling Wellman. I am here again to talk about Spring Valley. I have 2 matters that I would like to address. First would be if we can have you guys help, maybe write a letter to the Board of Supervisors to request that we get some more transparency from Robin Bore from the board of, not the board, but special districts about our finances and what's going on with our standbys. We've been waiting probably about 3 months for an answer on that. And then I'm here because I heard the head of Public Works is going to be here. So, oh, hello. How are you? I'm glad to finally see you here. I'm here to discuss about the bridge over Old Long Valley. Again, I can bring up quite a bit of incidences.
Oh, wait, wait.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have to wait till we get to that agenda item.
Okay, but I
Yeah.
can't put my public input and then come back and ask some questions?
You can do public input on any item that's not on the agenda, and
Okay.
Rhodes is already on there.
Okay, so then, yeah, I would like some help with special districts and
districts.
transparency. Maybe request Robin Bore to come to one of these meetings. We need to know about the standbys. We did stop the 218. She went into some studies to find out about the standbys, but she didn't go into finding out about the 68 customers, which is on the Board of Supervisors meeting. It is recorded. I do have it saved, where she said 68 customers were using 100,000 gallons every billing cycle during the summertime. They're using about 50% of Spring Valley's water. So I want to kind of get down to the bottom of that. We still haven't gotten any answers, and we're still trying. So I'd appreciate if you guys can help us get that on the Board of Supervisors agenda for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laura Jabot. I've only been here since 2016. I live off of Henderson and on Terrace Drive. I'm a homeowner. I'm a widow. My husband passed in 2020, but I was hoping that I could find out if my road will be able to be paved in the near future. I know that it's common. I get it. But I do have an Airbnb, and I do pay my property taxes and my bed taxes and everything, and my Airbnb people are the only ones who complain about well, I complain about it too, but I have tried to ask and write letters and call, and I was hoping that somebody could let me know if my road will be able to be.
Okay, we'll be talking with the roads man here soon.
So
Okay,
it's-
thank
The
you.
roads is number, it's going to be after we approve after the public input, we're going to approve the minutes, and then we're going to get into the roads discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Hi, John Martin from Lake Village Estates. We've had a problem with fire hydrants, and I've called CDF and I've called Lakeshore, and nobody will come out and inspect them. The owner will not fix them, and we need somebody to force them to fix them. Because now that we're in fire season, they really need to be done. That's about it.
Thank
Or
you.
give us some information on who we talk to force these guys to fix them. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Do we have any more people that have public input on items that are not on today's agenda?
My name is Susan Burton, and I just want to give a shout out to code enforcement. They have been working diligently in the Oaks, and I'm very proud of them, and I want to commend them for everything they've done.
Very nice. Thank you, Susan. Okay, anyone in the Zoom room have any comments for public input? No. Thank you. Okay, anybody else in this room? All right, great. Then we're going to move on to agenda item number 4, to approve the earth minutes from October 2nd, 2024.
Which you can't do.
Which we can't do because Denise is not here. We don't have enough people that were there. And we'll do the May 7th, 2025.
So I'll,
Oh,
so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 7th.
Second.
motion passes. Approved.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Gotta read those Robinson's rules or Robertson's, whatever. Okay. And now we do have a guest speaker today. We would like to introduce to you our Lake County Director of Public Works, Mr. Glenn March. He will be discussing upcoming transportation hazard mitigation and safety plans, County Department of Public Works Capital Improvement Plan, High Valley Road safety and speeding issues, Spring Valley access, and the Clear Lake Oaks Road repavement plans. So welcome, Mr. March. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and visit with us and answer our questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for having me. This is the first
doesn't
time
Doesn't sound like it's picking you up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we might need to get it closer. There. Oh, can you?
Can you hear me? Great. Good evening. My name is Glenn March. I'm the new Public Works Director. Last week was my 1-year anniversary.
Well,
So
congratulations.
thank you for having me. First time invited. I typically go to, well, I've offered to go to 2 town halls a month, so I'm available if you'd like to discuss items more. My purpose for coming here today, I'm visiting all the town halls, talking about everyone's opportunity to give input into the county's 20-year planning documents. So it's important that you provide input on desired projects, so it makes the county staff aware, the county officials aware, as well as having those projects listed makes those project county priorities. And when we apply for grants for design and construction costs, we can refer to the project as one of the county priorities. And that means a lot to the granting agencies. So right now, the County Sheriff's Department is wrapping up the hazardous mitigation plan. So you can go to the sheriff's office and see the draft mitigation plan. It should be finalized in October. So that plan identifies projects or action items that the county staff in various agencies have been identified to address. So in the last hazardous mitigation plan, the Old Long Valley Road access, is it Old Long Valley Road, was identified, and that has been dropped. So if you want to provide input, I encourage you to do that.
What do you mean by drop?
So what I mean by dropped is it is not on.
Can we use the mic with any questions? Because nobody can hear.
Nobody can hear. Oh, okay.
Let me just,
So the question was, what does it mean to be dropped? And so it does not appear in the latest draft. So if you are concerned, you should reach out to the sheriff's office.
I was not.
may I suggest if you have a comment or a question to please raise your hand, then we can get a mic to you.
Okay.
So that your questions can be heard.
I was informed of something completely different. I heard we were fourth on the list for the another way in and out over Old Long Valley.
So that's my understanding from the project manager, so I'd encourage you to check on the Lake County Sheriff's website.
So who,
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm so confused.
so
Hi, my name is Sarah Rankus. If we do find that it has been dropped, who do we contact to talk about that?
the authors of the document, which is the sheriff's office.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for stating your name also. Please continue.
So the safety of the community is not a priority. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I have another question. So the safety of Spring Valley's community is not a priority for county officials?
No, this is a public document. It's there for public input. So I'm explaining to you, if you would like that project on that document, go to their website and provide them comments.
So, Mr. March, if you can give me details on what these plans are and where they are, I can put them onto the Earth website so that all of it will be there, so all of you can go there and just get a link to what needs to be done.
Okay, so next week, when I return from vacation, I will provide you a link to the Lake APC website and the Sheriff's Office website. Okay.
Thank you.
So the second plan is a regional transportation plan. That is being published by the Lake APC. And that plan discusses regionally significant projects. So far, I've identified work on the Nice Lucerne Cutoff and Bottle Rock Road, which is the two busiest roads in the county, and some other minor roads that connect Bottle Rock Road to, that connect state routes. So that's my contributions. You also have the opportunity to contribute if you go to the Lake APC website. The other plan that the Lake APC is looking for comments for right now is the active transportation plan. So the active transportation plan identifies multimodal projects. So if you're interested in having sidewalks or bicycle lanes in a specific area, this is your opportunity to provide input and identify it and get it listed in that plan. So, go ahead.
Mr. Marsh, Tom Lasik, quick question. On all these, the planning doc, the 20-year plan, the regional transportation plan, active transportation plan, right now, if I understand you correctly, you're just looking for input on what to make a plan about, per se. So for example, the Long Valley Road question, if I understand you correctly, there isn't currently a plan. You're looking for input on things to make into projects so that you could put a plan together? Is that understanding that correctly?
So the purpose is to identify projects or identify concerns. So once we have that information, we identify these items for the board as part of our capital improvement plan, which I'll talk about in a second. And then we search for funding for those projects. And as part of searching for funding, once we receive funding, we can start a planning process, then a design process, and followed by construction.
Okay, I think I got that straight. So right now, this is an earlier step than planning. So first you need to identify items to potentially create projects for. Then a step after that is somewhere along the line is to get approval from the decision makers, in this case the Board of Supervisors, maybe the state, I'm not sure. Another step is to get funding, and then after that, the planning process commences.
Yes.
Is that sort of the
Yes.
the path? Okay, thank you.
Coming this fall, the Lake APC will be developing a local, or updating the 2022 local road safety plan. So they will be asking for your input in that local road safety plan. And the Old Long Valley Road project is a perfect project to include in that local road safety plan possibly. So,
Excuse me, Mr. March, when you're talking about roads, are we talking about just the highway or small roads or major roads or what?
So, any road that the county maintains, oh, I'm sorry, I'll step back. The Lake County, so the Lake APC is producing plans for the county as well as the two cities. The Lake County plan includes state route improvements. So if you want to provide input into the county local road safety plan, you may provide input into the state routes.
Okay, so it's just would be something like Highway 20, Highway 53, 175?
It's any road in the county as well as, that the county maintains,
Okay,
as well as what the state maintains.
okay, got it.
So this fall, we'll be looking for input.
Can I just ask you something? In terms of road safety plan, can you just give us a couple of words on what are the topics for safety? I mean, is it like a tree hanging over something, a hairpin turn, no stop sign, or is it something different? What's the depth of it?
So the purpose of the local road safety plan is identify projects that will reduce the likelihood of fatalities and injuries. So there is a website that the Berkeley College, University of California, Berkeley produces, which is called TIMS, T-I-M-S, which is the Traffic Incident Management, or Transportation Incident Management something. And that has on it maps that indicate all the accidents reported in the county since 2013. So if you search TIMS and transportation, you can find those maps, or you have to do a search. So when we look at projects, we are looking first at projects where there are fatalities and serious injuries in certain locations. So that's our first priority, is determine if there's a way we can reduce the likelihood of death and serious injury in those locations. But there will be other locations that we look at.
Tom Lasik again, just a clarification question and maybe a comment. The local road safety plan, is that a subset of a larger plan that, I know you mentioned it, but I didn't know if it was part of the central improvement or the capital improvement plan, or it was something else?
So the local road safety plan is a standalone document.
Okay.
The local road safety plan in its current iteration allows us to get state safety, highway safety improvement grants.
Great.
So what this next update is for is to allow us to pursue grants to design and construct projects in the local road safety plan.
Okay. And you're referencing as part of crafting those plans, the tims.berkeley.org or edu, I forget you're using that as a reference to help you build those plans? Or is it for some other purpose?
That's the reason, that is what I'm using to identify issues and concerns that should be addressed to reduce fatalities and serious injuries.
Okay, I do have a concern. A couple things. One is that Caltrans is actually forbidden to use the TIMS database for engineering design because of documented factors, and you can see this on the TIMS site. So one of my concerns is, why is Lake County depending on that? The second thing is it doesn't, and one of the reasons is it doesn't reflect all of the accidents as you previously mentioned. It only reflects accidents where there was a fatality or a major injury, not major collisions or people being run off the road or anything like that. That's self-reported by TIMS. It also acknowledges that it underreports rural roads because they don't have the right data, and it only reports items that meet their threshold that come from CHP and not, say, for example, the Sheriff's Department or the Police Department. So it's an incomplete reference. I don't mind people looking at it to see who died and why they died and where they died, but I don't think it's sound planning practice, if I may say that, to over-depend on TIMS for finding out where we should focus our attention for road safety, because the TIMS database says that it's not suitable, and Caltrans is actually forbidden from using it for precisely those reasons. So I was wondering if you could comment on that and explain why we're doing that instead of perhaps using what Caltrans is authorized to use or other means.
So this is where you come in, and it's your opportunity to give input on those roads, okay? So what drives our process, or what drives our likelihood of getting grants, is what they call the benefit to cost ratio. So we as part of our grant applications need to submit a benefit cost ratio. So they're looking for, the government agencies are looking for bang for their buck to fund these projects. So that is kind of the purpose of public input, to identify projects that aren't identified in other places, right? So it's your opportunity to provide input.
Director Marsh, thank you for that. I'm sure you have a lot of folks here that have road concerns, and we're certainly going to keep pushing for that. But with all due respect, a major part of my question wasn't quite answered, and that is, why are you still using Tim's if it's got all these flaws?
It's used to inform us. We don't rely on it. So it's used to inform us. We do not rely on it.
Okay, so what do you rely on?
My engineering judgment.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'd
Hi,
like to.
once again, I'm Laura Jabot. I live off of Terrace Drive with a gorgeous lake view of Mount Konocti since 2016. When we moved here, the road was patchy but nice, and as the years went by, due to recycling, garbage, UPS, FedEx, and all the other big trucks that come onto my road, it is very, it's more gravel and it's potholes, and they used to put black goo in it and have us run over it. That was the first 2017 and 2019. But I was wondering if my road might be on the list due to the fact that, well, it's bad for my vehicle. I've had to get repairs for my vehicle because of it. And the same with my travel trailer. And my Airbnb people are complaining about it. And it does bring revenue to this area, having the Airbnb with the bed tax and the property tax. And I was just hoping that at some point that I could get my road on the list. I'm not asking for Henderson, but the one that is Terrace Drive that's up to my place, I mean, I only want to take responsibility for what I have to drive on because I'm always by myself when it comes to my neighborhood. So I was hoping it would be, because I may have to sell my house in the next year or so. I don't want to, but current events. So I know that I've heard from locals that the road only gets paved when there's a house for sale, and I don't want it to be like that. I really would like the road to be nice before. So I'm just putting it out there. Can somebody let me know if, with the road improvements, that my road might be on the list so that I will know? Because I will have to block my Airbnb just based on it's really bad.
Yeah.
Guys can't come up with their trucks and their boats. It's bad.
It's highly unlikely that the road would be repaved before you sell the house in a year and a half. So, and we do not decide where to pave roads based on property for sale.
Well, no, but I'm just saying I do pay taxes. I mean, it's not like I'm not contributing locally, and I get that I'm not important, but I'm just saying, is there some way that I can, you know, they used to put something on the road, and now they don't even do that. And it's just really bad due to the big vehicles that are on the road.
Yes.
So right now, we are working, so we have two different types of projects. We have projects that our staff takes on, and we have projects that we hire contractors to perform. So that may be something that our staff could do in the short term. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to get your number or get the information from you,
All
for
right.
sure.
So the way our road division works is they address roads counterclockwise in the county around the lake. So in the next year or two, they should be in the Clear Lake area.
Excuse me, Mr.
Clear
March.
Lake Oaks.
This is one of the things that we had on the agenda, so I guess it's,
Sorry.
I guess it now is a perfect time to bring it up, but when Scott DeLeon was the head of Public Works, he came up with a 10-year road pavement rehabilitation plan, and he came down here twice and made presentations. Originally, all the roads, not all, most of the roads in Clear Lake Oaks were going to be repaved in 2023. And now it was changed to 2026. So what you see is many of the residents here believe that these roads, and we have a whole list of them here, are going to be repaved in 2026. And, you know, frankly, where I live, my little Honda Fit just climbs, you know, over, you can't get through. During the last meeting, and it could be just because he was leaving, retiring in a couple months, Earth sent in a letter to him asking him to look at some of the other roads such as Cerrito, Alta Vista, Island Drive, downtown Clear Lake Oaks, roads west of Lakeview through the community of Glen Haven, which is what you're talking about. And he told us that he put all of those on the list for repaving. So I guess the whole thing is we want to know when they're going to get repaved, you know, or what's happened with this plan, basically.
So the plan calls for spending approximately $10 million a year. The county has approximately $2 million a year to spend on roads. So the idea behind that plan is what Scott was asked to do was to create a plan that would get the overall county PCI, pavement condition index, up to 40. And that plan would cost $10 million a year over 10 years. So currently, we have approximately $2 million. We receive approximately $2 million a year that we can utilize for pavement rehabilitation. So that, for that reason, we cannot implement the plan that Scott was asked to prepare. So I've been asked by the Board of Supervisors to come up with a short-term plan until that can be implemented until Lake APC develops a new pavement management plan, and that is scheduled to happen in 2008. Yeah, 2028.
2000.
Missed the two.
2028.
Oh, 28, then it's 2008. Okay.
So we have to wait.
Okay, so with all of us who have been waiting here for a couple years, et cetera, and many of the roads are very, very dire, what do you suggest? I mean, what do? Do we just make complaints, road complaints, and have people come down, or what do we do?
In the short term, make road complaints. I have created a staff dedicated to just road complaints. So I've had the opportunity to make changes, and effective last week, I created a crew that just their sole responsibility was to address complaints. So that should.
I know one of the issues up where we are, and we're in the hills, and it gets pretty bad, and we have slides and things like that. One of the issues, and we've talked to the road crews, they're absolutely fantastic, the guys that come through, very helpful, very friendly. But the worst problems they have, they can't fix because it's down below the road, and it's just a huge dirt hole. And so I would love to hear suggestions, or if anybody has suggestions.
Where's this
on
at?
I'm up on Widgeon Way, in between here and Glen Haven.
Okay.
We've had a number of slides. We've had many slides, many road washouts. We have a road washout right above us right now. But, I mean, it's not just me. It's many of the people here are exhibiting the same thing. Particularly, too, with a lot of the big trucks going by. You know, we have the huge dump trucks, you know, the garbage trucks come by, et cetera. Constantly, we have PG&E and MediaCom, you know, et cetera, digging up the roads. But so any sort of plan that you have or suggestion for what we could do would be great.
So as far as slip outs or landslides, I would direct those questions and comments and concerns to me, so I'm aware of them. We do have projects to repair landslides and slip outs, but I do not think the road that you mentioned is on that list. So I need to identify where the issues are.
Well, can't you use the 10-year road plan, which tells you what the PCI is? I mean, some of these roads are 3 out of 100, so doesn't that identify it?
No, I was talking about the slip outs and
Oh,
the
okay, got it.
landslides. So bring those to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
We're aware of the PCI in, conditions of the road, and we're putting together a plan to address those concerns.
Okay, so is that something that's going to go to the Board of Supervisors?
That will probably, for this area, it will probably be part of the 2028 pavement management plan update for this particular area.
That's great, but I don't think some of the roads are going to make it that long. And I'm not trying to be difficult or anything. I'm just trying to point something out.
No, I appreciate that. My staff has calculated the PCI index of 10 communities in the county. And there are several that are worse than Clear Lake Oaks. So many people are in the same boat throughout the county. So,
Mr. March, my name is Chuck Lamb,
Chuck.
and I would like to get an update on High Valley Road, the status. We saw some pictures yesterday, looked like surveyors up there. Is that accurate? In other words, have your efforts in Department of Public Works started yet on fixing the issues on High Valley Road, number one? And then number two, well, the first question is whether they started or not. And then the second and equally important question is, what is the timeline for finishing the evaluation, the survey, engineering studies, and so forth?
So there's been a lot of requests on High Valley Road. I've been requested to widen it. I've been requested to reduce the speed limits. I've been requested to address the curve. Anybody else make any other requests? Okay. So right now, what I have told people that I would do, I believe I told you that I would put on the uphill side of the hairpin curve, that I would put a yield to oncoming traffic sign, and I've directed my staff to do that. I have told everyone that I would look at the curve, and what I've directed a consultant to do is determine if a truck that has the, I think it's 28 feet, kingpin to rear wheel distance, if that will go work through that curve. I've also asked them to contact the 2 large businesses up Brassfield and someone else.
Monte Cristo.
And I asked them to contact them and find out what truck sizes they are using. Once I get that information, I will determine if the signage is correct, and I'll determine if there's any needed road improvements.
Appreciate that. I would hope that Brassfield and Monte Cristo would defer to the safety of the neighbors up there. And instead of having these great big long semis, maybe they need to have 2 shorter trucks make the trip. They have the money, they can afford it, and for the best interest in the health, safety, and welfare of the neighbors, we really need to fix that. Do you have a timeline for getting this dealt with?
I do not. I've asked, other than the yield to oncoming cars, that should be.
Because we're going to have to implement an urgency ordinance to correct some of the correct some of the problems that are up there. Actually, there was one that was written in 1984, and it had to do with a prohibition of logging trucks up there for a period of time. It was less than a year. But for the sake of simplicity for yourself, you could take that ordinance and just change the logging from logging trucks to semi-trucks. And then you'd have the emergency ordinance taken care of. These people are living in danger. Their safety is in peril every single day. You've got the pictures, you've got the videos. It's an ugly situation. And I'm really disappointed to hear that there's no timeline. I would have thought, you know, by this point, because you and I and others have been going back and forth for about 7, 8 months, that we would get something started. So I would appreciate your expedience, and EJ, we need your help on that as well to get this thing going. Thank
So my understanding, this has been an issue since 2005, 2006?
Oh, yeah, the issue's been going on for a long time, but we've got a situation where we've got accumulation of traffic. It's getting worse. We're seeing more trucks and so forth. It's getting worse. It's not getting better. One of the things we could do is to implement a policy like Caltrans did on Hopland Grade, 39 feet maximum vehicle. That's it. Doesn't matter whether it's an RV, doesn't matter whether it's a semi or whatever. These folks here, everybody here is concerned about our neighbors up on High Valley Road, and we're going to fight for them. I'm just telling you that.
I encourage you to do so. I'm moving the issue forward. I think it's been an issue for a long time. I know you're not happy with the progress, but I think in the last 20 years that we are making progress now.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. We're going to continue to move on. Chuck?
Can't hear you.
This is Randy
We can't hear
Wilk.
you.
Oh, my mic turned
This
on.
is Randy Wilk.
Hi, Randy.
Sorry to add to Chuck's comment,
We can't hear you.
Whoa, something happened.
You just have to talk louder.
to add, there you go. Okay, sorry. I didn't understand how to use this thing. Yes, it is. It's on. So to add to Chuck's comment, there's a school at the bottom of High Valley and 20. It has a very narrow corridor, and it has a very narrow intersection right there, which is which causes kids at risk to be hit there. And then they have fenced off the area, so it's very difficult for parents to pick up kids in that area. So I just wanted to add it to Chuck's comment. To the Scott De Leon, it sounds like we're going to be starting over because of what the budgetary constraint had happened, going from $10 million to $2 million a year. We understood in the February 2024 meeting from when Scott was here, he had some charts up. He said, this is what's going to happen. We're spending $10 million a year. We understood it to be earmarked, not a wish list. So this is more probably for EJ and the board to get the budget back. We just don't understand why the budget disappeared.
Hi, Steve Robin. Basically, as in numbers run demand, right? So might be helpful as a form of suggestion is you have existing county portals where people can do code enforcement input and all these others. Perhaps have them expand that to include road hazard issues and such, so you can then have the data on your own site to help back drive the demand for budget, allocations.
So that's a great suggestion, but let me, the Department of Public Works is funded by gas tax and grants. We receive nominal amount of general funds, and as I explained, that we get approximately $2 million per year to put $2 million, give or take, to put toward road rehabilitation projects. We have to start putting so we get SB1 funds which is a sales tax fund, gas tax fund. So our department is funded by 2 gas tax, what they call HUDA and SB1 funds. The SB1 funds are used for road rehabilitation and bridge rehabilitation. So we have many needs throughout the county, and we're trying to find rational ways to allocate those limited funds. So we have a history of not seeking out grants for road projects. We intend to hire grant consultants on June 17th. We've done an RFQ and we'll have them on board June 17th so we can seek additional grant funds to help staff. I'm actually working on a grant application for another round of LRSP updates. And so that's going to be a continuing process. So you will see more money coming into the county from the state and the feds than before, based on our new efforts to pursue grants. So we applied for a $20 million grant earlier this year. We'll find out later this month if we get it. That was for South Main Street, Soda Bay Road. So we are dead. When I was hired, I told the board that one of my most important roles is to pursue grant funds to bring more money into the county. So.
But one thing I would suggest to expand that portal.
wait, please,
existing portal,
speak into
so
the mic.
you have the data.
Yeah.
Can you
But right now you have the opportunity, well, this fall you'll have the opportunity to provide input to the LRSRP, the local road safety plan that the Lake APC is producing. So I hear you. And technology is hard to implement, but we'll work on it.
Hi, I'm Thomas Aceves, I'm the chairperson for the Western Region Town Hall, which covers Upper Lake Nice and Blue Lakes and outstanding areas. This may be obviously a funding issue, and I know the BOS is looking at studying a 1-cent sales tax increase on possibly to go to the voters. It may not, and nobody wants to pay more for anything. We're all being strapped right now by everything. However, City of Clear Lake several years ago, where I work out full-time, did do that, and their roads have come along consistently, miles after miles. If you go down Sulphur Bank on the side, it's like a tarmac. And those are things they're implementing because of that money. That may be something we have to do here to bring more funding to our roads. Roads, for me personally, I've been here, since 2008, have been the least prioritized item in our county forever. And I live in Nice and Floyd Way, and roads over there are just terrible as well. So that may be something we want. I know we don't want to tax, we don't want to do that, but it may be something we have to support. Now in Clear Lake, City of Clear Lake, they also have an oversight committee, I think a citizen, to make sure that money is directed right to the roads. And they make sure, and that's always published on their city. The city manager publishes that in a newsletter, where they're doing the roads, when, how many miles, and so forth. It's pretty transparent.
Measure V.
Is it Measure V? Yeah, so it's very, very successful, and that is called in the government industry a deliverable. I call it an actionable solution, they call it a deliverable. That's what we need more of, and this may be the way to get the more money into our county to get these roads resurfaced, so we're not, because his department doesn't have the money, and he's going after it, and he's been here a year, and that's fantastic. Thank you for that, because the previous administration or previous department was not. And I think we all know what happened. There was a retirement coming, and that's pretty much what he was thinking about the whole time, unfortunately for us. So that's my comment, and hopefully that may be something we need to look at.
Okay, my name. So my name is Sterling. I have more questions for you. The first one is, why would we contact the Sheriff's Department when you're the one that applies for the grant for the bridge to be over Old Long Valley?
So if you want to get that project listed in the hazardous mitigation plan, that is the place to get your project listed, so we can go after certain types of grants.
Okay, so then my other question would be is, I did ask you this question when you were at the Board of Supervisors, and I still didn't get an answer. And I have mentioned it multiple times to EJ Crandall about it, and we have never been told that we have to go to the Sheriff's Department to request this. So at this point, it's kind of, there's not enough transparency between you guys and the community. In a sense, I've spoke with you. I did the public input with the Board of Supervisors meeting when you were on there doing your
Right.
stuff. I mentioned the penal codes because in the state of California, if you have a subdivision that has more than 30 homes in it, there has to be another way in and a way out. And that is a state law. And there used to be a bridge over Old Long Valley, and it blew out about 30, 40 years ago, and the county dropped the ball and never replaced that bridge. So at this point, you're telling us that we have to go to the Sheriff's Department to even have this put on there when the county has dropped the ball for about 40 years, and it's a state law for you guys to make sure that there is another way in and another way out of any subdivision with 30-plus homes.
Okay, my understanding, please bring that to my, please send me a copy of that law.
I got that from Betsy Kahn.
Okay, that would be great, so I can use that as additional ammunition. So I believe I told you that, if I can recall, that I was going to list that project on the capital improvement plan. No. I'm sorry. I didn't get an opportunity to go to the last plan. So the last plan is a capital improvement plan. This is a project that's a plan developed by me as directed by the Board of Supervisors that will list all our current projects and all our future projects, regardless of if they have funding. So we have about, I think, 4 or 5 plans that we're working on, 5 plans that we're currently working on, 20-year planning projects. So different authors.
So when is the bridge over Old Long Valley going to be a part of that plan? I just have to go to the Sheriff's Department for it to be put onto that plan?
Okay. You have to request that it be put on that plan. And that plan is going to be finalized this fall.
All right,
Okay.
so the Earth Council is going to have information on how to do that on our website so that everybody knows where they can go to suggest which roads they want taken care of. So we need to start winding down so we can get through the rest of our agenda items. So I'd like to invite Mr. March to please continue, wrap up your presentation, whatever else you wanted to speak about. I know there's a lot of people that have lots of questions, but we won't be able to get through them all today, but we do want to give him an opportunity to present what he came to present.
So the capital improvement program, the capital improvement plan is being created by the Department of Public Works, special districts, and public services, which is the parks and museums and parks. So the purpose of the capital improvement program is it's a budget document. So what we are doing is asking for funds for the next fiscal year and projecting our needs over the next 4 years. So it's a 5-year budgetary plan, but we also list projects that we do not have funding for that we intend to search for funding for. So that should be published soon. I mean, in the fall, sorry.
Can I?
Just a quick question. I'm Gail Delane, and I wanted to ask about the funding that you're looking for, the grants. Will you be posting information as to what you're able to get? Where could we find that information?
We'll definitely do a news release. So,
And it'll probably be linked to our Earth website.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would appreciate you send it to us.
Okay, super.
Yeah, so that we
Yep.
can, blow your horn for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. March, I wanted to thank you for, you know, coming here. Obviously, roads are a hot topic. And basically, I think all we want is transparency. We just want to know what's going on. You know, so as soon as you find out something, good news or bad news, as long as we know it up front, you know, then we can try to come together and deal with it.
Okay, great. I
And-
appreciate your comment.
Yeah,
Chuck?
Chuck has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck has it. Director Marsh, just one quick question, just for clarification, just so people aren't confused. The hazard, you talk about the hazardous mitigation plan that the sheriff is doing, and then that's separate from the capital improvement plan, correct? Those are two
Correct.
separate documents, so.
Correct.
For the hazardous mitigation, that's why you're saying go to the sheriff, and then for capital improvement, that's you. Just so
Right.
everybody's clear on that. Okay, there's two different things.
So all the projects in the hazardous mitigation plan will be incorporated into the capital improvement plan, but not vice versa.
Right, okay, thank you.
Are the grants you're going after hard money or soft money?
In what way? I only take cash.
Well, some soft money grants are only limited for a certain amount of time for certain projects, and hard money may be there for longer than the 5-year plan that you're proposing. So I'm just wondering what kind of monies you're looking
We
into as
intend
you're
to
looking
go
into monies.
after long-term and short-term. Some have 2-year expiration dates, the one we're going to submit on Monday.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Since
yeah.
apparently somebody hasn't been looking for grants, I was just curious, looking forward, what type of grants are you searching for personally?
So there are some safety grants. So that's a highway safety improvement program that Caltrans issues. There is the Safe Streets and Roads for All, which is a US DOT. And we're trying to become eligible for those grants by the update on the LRSP. So it's important that you provide input. And it's important that we identify projects because the SS4A implementation grants only funds projects that are identified in our plan. So the LRSP, Local Road Safety Plan.
Director Marsh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Director Marsh, again, thank you. Just a clarification, I don't think you had a chance to mention, you said there were 4 projects that were currently in the capital improvement plan or one of the other plans that you were about to present. I forget which one it was, but can you share with us what those projects are?
There's probably 100 projects right now in the
okay.
capital improvement plan.
I see,
We
okay.
are currently working on 40 projects
Okay,
with a
thank you.
staff of 4.
Yeah,
3.
and that list will be posted somewhere?
That list will be part of the plan.
Okay.
And that will be published. I don't know how the administration office intends to publish that
All right,
document.
and I just want to echo what Holly mentioned, and that's just thank you for coming here. Having seen how roads were managed in the past and how your vision of managing roads in the future, I think is the right path, okay? You're going after the money, you're doing this systematically, you're trying to provide structure, and unfortunately, you inherited a mess. Okay, so I think as a community, we're willing to be patient, but we do need the transparency, and we need the, without lack of a better term, the respect. I can't tell you how many times we've been told, and you've heard it, oh yeah, we have a plan for that, only to find out, as you know,
Right.
turned out there really wasn't a plan. And that's disheartening. That's not transparent government. That's not fair. And it's not fair to you to have to inherit and be then put up against, being thrown under the bus for things that you had no control over. So I just want to share with that. I appreciate what you're doing. We do have issues. We do need to get them taken care of. We're glad you're here. So thank you.
Thank you.
And just to mention, I've implemented new maintenance standards with our road division, internal road division. And next season, you'll see them working on roads for a longer period of time. So implementing change.
Just real quick before, 'cause I know that you're probably going to say a lot of what you've already said and kind of try to get it. the capital improvement plan is separate, and when it gets addressed, that's where we can decide as a board what issue goes first on that capital improvement plan. And I've been telling you that it's on that list, and it's very important, and it's something that I will push for when it gets to that point. So what he's talking about with the other list, I'm not, I was more concerned about the capital improvement list, so that's what I've been referring to, not the transit. What is it, the mitigation plan?
Yeah, hazard
Yeah.
mitigation plan.
Right, and so then there's that, and you'll be allowed and able to make your statements as well in that meeting when it's at the Board of Supervisors, so you'll have the opportunity to say, Old Long Valley, High Valley, or whatever, So I'm just making sure you know, when someone, because I notice this a lot in all the town halls, a director or someone will say, this is what I'm looking to do, or I'm going to do. That doesn't mean it's happening. It still has to get 2 other votes, 3 votes total, and that's where that takes place. So I want you all to know not to panic when a director says that, because things get changed all the time. Ordinances get changed, everything gets kind of, jumbled around or whatever. But then, so that's where that is. And the other thing I wanted to clarify as well, the 10-year plan, when they talked about it being $10 million, that's the amount that they wanted to raise. So I don't know why where the $10 million we had comes from. I just know that that was one of the things they talked about, was $10 million that needed to be raised to do the roads for even the 5-year plan or something like that. So I just wanted to clarify that as well.
Okay, thank you. We're going to wrap up the comments or the questions to Mr. March, because we are on a time crunch now with getting through the rest of our agenda items. So I'd like to invite you, Mr. March, to give any further comments that you have, and also thank you for spending this time with us. So please.
I just want to say it's great to see everyone here tonight. This is the largest town hall that I've attended, most well attended, and I've been to them all. And I think you should be, yep, I'll be at his town hall soon. But we have some new blood in our organization, in the DPW, and we are trying to raise the standards of what we do. So you'll see
Thank you.
progress. So.
Hello, my name's Mike Worth. I make a motion that we temporarily table this and go through the rest of it, and everybody, because you guys got a lot to go through here, and we've got a lot on the list.
Right.
Okay. Good night.
We agree. We agree. Thank you, Mr. March.
I have a second.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Let's get on. So this brings us to the next item, which is the consideration of revised earth boundaries map.
So I spoke with Lon Sharp at the county IT services, and he, based on the zip codes for Lucerne and the zip codes for the Clear Lake Oaks and Glen Haven area, he came up with a new map, which is on the back there. And that's the map that we used to do our mailer to. So I just want to update the bylaws to include this map.
Okay, well, I will make a motion to update the bylaws.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. So passed. Let's update those bylaws.
Okay.
All right, the next is a District 3 MAC update.
Okay, so as discussed in prior meetings, the 3 municipal advisory councils in District 3, which are Earth, Worth, and Surth, want to jointly tackle issues that we share along Highway 20, along the Highway 20 corridor. And so we've been meeting, as we've talked about, we've had a subgroup of 2 each from each MAC. Angela and I are on it, and Thomas is from Worth. And then we have Lisa Marie Benavides, Austin Pratt from Lucerne, and Becky Schwenger. And so basically, we've developed a list of projects based on statements made at town councils and the community meetings for the local area plans of issues, whether they're positive or negative issues along the North Shore. But we need your help to prioritize these projects. So these projects include things from code enforcement, public safety, the local economy, and the environment, because by working together, we can make our communities thrive. So we are asking you to go to the Earth website at lakeearthca.com to take this survey. It's just a few questions asking you where you live, do you agree with us working together, and please prioritize these things, and then also give us any other suggestions. The survey is going to continue for the next couple of weeks. We have had people, we've been doing this for about 2 weeks now. There is a flyer up there on the table that you can take with a QR code to get it. We currently have about, I think, 30 responses so far. We will be compiling the results and feedback, and we will report back at the next Earth meeting what comes up from this. Do you have any?
And yes, and there is a space on the online survey. If there's something that you want to add on there, there is a section to ask if there are additional items that you would like to see on there. I know Steve Robin had brought up about the potential of maybe adding emergency sirens. So if there's something that you don't see on there that you feel the whole North Shore could benefit from, please send it to us so that we can add it to the list.
And if you don't take the survey, you can even email us with just what it is, and we'll add it to it.
Yeah, and the survey is also on the Facebook page. There's a link to it on there as well.
Excellent, thank you. All right, moving on to commercial cannabis report and cannabis ordinance update.
Okay, so the Poverty Flats Cannabis Project major use permit hearing was held before the Planning Commission last month. Poverty Flats is located just above Brassfield on High Valley Road. It has plans to cultivate 5.9 acres of cannabis. Despite a voluminous amount of data submitted on the traffic hazards on High Valley Road, the project was approved 3-1 by the Planning Commission. And a group of local residents have filed to appeal the project, but there's no hearing date set yet. We do not have specifics, but according to the Community Development Project List for June, a summary of the cannabis ordinance updates will be presented to the Planning Commission on the 12th of June.
Is that it? Okay. All right, so now we're moving on to the general plan and shoreline area plan update.
And there's nothing to report. Yeah.
Nothing to report, thank you. John T. Klaus Park update.
There was a public outreach drop-in meeting on May 22nd at the Nylander Building. Present were members of Earth Public Services, Helix Consulting, Supervisors Crandall and Rasmussen. There were about 30 or 40 people that dropped in to view the updated Klaus Park concept map. There's a copy of that map up there on the table. The park design includes hiking trails, non-motorized bike section, dog parks, horseback trails, walk-in camping, playground, frisbee golf, and environmental visitor center. An image has been posted on the Earth website if you want to go in and see some specifics on that. The next steps, county parks maintenance staff continue to work on the property, cleaning it up. The consultant is making a few minor tweaks to the plan based on input they just received. And they're preparing a scope of work to complete all the technical studies that are needed for CEQA and tribal consultation. So we're still at least a year away from any opening on it, if not a little bit more.
Okay, we also did have one member of the public come up and speak to the nature preserve that should be included in the park and not represented on the maps. So it looks like Chuck's going to hand off the mic. State your
Yeah,
name,
my
sir.
name's Mike Worth. I own Worth Ranch. I got it from Tom Claus. If you called him John, he wouldn't even answer. So
Okay.
he went by Tom.
Okay.
Anyway, as you know, there's bears over here, there's bears over there. Nobody's going hiking up there with a dog. When I met Tom, I went and I talked to him, see if I could ride my horses out there. He said, "You got shoes on them?" I said, "I'll get them." He said, "You got a gun?" I said, "Yeah, I got one." He says, "Go get it and show it to me." I went and got my gun. I brought my small arms training, showed it to him. He says, "Let me see the gun." I showed him the gun. I emptied the bullets, handed it to him. That's all I wanted to see if you knew how to empty the gun. He says, "Wear it when you're over there." He says, "I don't want you shooting anything that isn't trying to kill you." But and hey, we've had 3 bear sightings, giant bears, big ones. I'll show you pictures, 800-pounders. But they're not as scary as the mountain lions. You know, we can't run sheep over there. They jump right out of the trees and attack them. People think they're going to be skipping around with their little dogs up there. That's the Wild West. I mean, Doug and Marlene had an 800-pounder on their porch the other day. I mean, I could show you the picture in my pocket. This isn't anywhere for anybody to go skipping around. We're going to have to get teams of hunters or somebody to relocate some of these animals. And we also got, everybody should fill out a liability form, because you're going to get hurt over there.
Mr. Worth, did you,
We're not kidding about this stuff.
did you mention this at any of the meetings, or did you mention this to Lars?
I have, but nobody really wants to hear it very much.
Okay.
But I want all you to know.
Yeah, if you can give me all your contact information, I'll try to make a connection there.
Oh, they had it. I was, me and
Right, but I will,
Well, we're
I
here to
will make a
advocate,
connection.
we're here to advocate for the public on things that are an issue. So we would, well, then we would like to hear from you. So please talk with Holly and I afterwards.
John T. Kloss was our neighbor, and he was our friend. And we know more than anything, he wanted an animal refuge or a wildlife sanctuary. The last proposal had it on this map that you gave us. This map has nothing on it. And I have witnesses that directly talked with his lawyers after he passed, and that's what he wanted. I don't see anything on this proposal, and
I'll bring that up with the consultant, because that is something that they've spoken about, that the back third or 1/4 is absolutely animal refuge.
yeah, if he saw this map right now, he would not be happy.
Okay, we'll bring that up too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Thank you so much. Any more in the park? Update? Okay, so we're going to move on to the update on our Cal Recycle County free dump days in the Oaks and how they
Did you
went.
find out anything? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have, okay, let's jump up to Supervisor Crandall then.
All right, so dump days. 139.7 tons is what was collected this last weekend.
I'm sorry, how much was that?
139.7 tons.
Wow.
Right. With that, the total for this so far, because we don't know how much we're going to get this Saturday, because it's this Saturday from 8 to 1 as well. But when you look at what has been done on the North Shore this year so far, 549.7 ton, well, yeah, 549.7 tons total in District 3. Well, Nice, Lucerne, and Clear Lake Oaks, and we still have one more to go. And we're going to do Upper Lake as well. Not with the Cal Recycle funding, though, because I think their last one is here in Clear Lake Oaks. However, I'm going to work with Upper Lake to get one done for them as well at their park or in that pile or something of the like. But they need to do one too. So that way I can cover the full district with more dump days. And when you consider since 2023, there was 3 dump days for Lucerne, which was a total of 60 tons. And that's since 2023. So a total of 609.7 tons have been moved out of District 3 since 2023. So that's good.
That's very good. Nice.
All right, and still more to go, right? So that's awesome. So that's the update. Don't forget about this weekend, 8 to 1. Metal, they're pretty much, you've probably seen, who all went? Did everybody get a chance to go? Yeah, I was there, and I didn't get a chance to dump nothing, but, it was cool. Oh, yeah. No, you needed help. I know you needed help, because that piece of metal was really heavy for even me. All right, so we hired a new public health officer, Dr. Bernstein. We lost our other one, who basically, I always say this, I say she Dick Cheney'd us. When Dick Cheney was going to find a vice president for George Bush, and then he's like, well, I'll just be it. Well, she kind of did the same thing to us. She's like, I'm going to find you guys somebody. So we ended up hiring her. But nonetheless, she ended up leaving, and now we have Dr. Bernstein. So he'll be starting real soon. I know they're going through a couple more processes. We announced it yesterday, so at least we have that going now, right, for us. In the meantime, we have contractors to take care of whatever needs to be in the meantime. Rent stabilization ordinance, that is in full review right now, so I'm hoping to get it on in July. I know that I have a meeting on Monday with the admin staff to get that further addressed and looked at. I do know too that the pause has been submitted already We're working on a memo, so I know that we've talked about that before. So we'll see if that gets, I mean, it's there, so we'll go with that. That is all I put for now, but and I answered the other things that you were talking about with regards to the bridge. Because that's, when you brought up the bridge, that's the first thing I've been telling him since he got in was, we need another bridge for that area. He's like, I'll put it on the capital improvement plan. I'm like, okay. What's that? No. Did he say he dropped it off the list? I didn't hear that, you know. No, that's a different list. That's the
hazard mitigation
That's the mitigation
plan.
list.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I apologize for, I was in the back there kind of like wanting to stop the conversation, but that's why I ended up emphasizing that the capital improvement list is a totally different list. It's
Yeah,
a
he was
different
saying
list.
it was dropped from the sheriff hazard mitigation plan.
And to go to the sheriff, but that has nothing to do with the capital improvement list. So the capital improvement list is one, it's a budgetary item, and that's where it's one of the most important issues that I know that I'll push for, and I have been. You've been telling me, your husband's everyone in Spring Valley's been telling me since I've been on the Board of Supervisors, one exit is not acceptable. So it's on the capital improvement list, and when we get to the budget, please, again, be on Zoom or even come in and accentuate for that, because it is very important. It's probably one of the most important things for that area. So, not that the water isn't, and not that the other things are, the roads aren't. I've just, well, Spring Valley's covered in this. Yeah, so yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that, to make that, that observation or that statement, because I was even like, wait, how did it get knocked off myself? I'm sitting there like, okay, so just letting you know, I think that the table can attest. So that's why I emphasized that it was that. So yeah, that's, I'll update on the town hall. We had the town hall at the Soper Reese and talked about the, Potter Valley two-basin solution, and I feel like it went pretty well. We are going to, I know I set a meeting and I'm waiting for the response. We sent a document to speak to someone from the administration, Department of Interior. Haven't got an answer yet, but we're still waiting on that. And yeah, I know that Thomas, I think it'll be posted on, it's already, if it's not already posted, it's posted online, the video for that town hall. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They pumped it out right away. So with that, I know there's a couple of people that talked to me and wanted me to wait after, of course, as customary, I will. And I'll leave it at that for now, unless there's something else someone wants me to. Yes.
Kathy Garner, Clear Lake Oaks. I don't remember what year it was when I met Holly and Chuck, but when, I don't know if anyone really knows, when they were going to put a geothermal plant on our lake.
Yeah.
And we stormed the meeting. We had signs, we had shirts, and we won.
Right.
So maybe we need to do this on roads, whatever. We all need to get together, though, and go to
We do need to speak up, absolutely.
the meeting, and but it was amazing.
That wasn't, I'm glad you said that. You're talking about the roads, right?
No, this was the geothermal plant.
No, but I mean, you're talking about to do that for the roads or just for anything in general?
Yes, whatever you want to do. What year was that, guys? 2002.
Because I was going to, oh man, I lost my train of thought, but I was going to mention that, yeah, that's what I thought she was talking about, but I totally lost my train of thought because I had it. Yeah, no, and that's fine. Yeah, because they were talking about a tax or something like that, and that's where my mind went, and I had it. I lost it. I'm sorry. I'll think of it, and then I'll catch up to you. But yeah. Oh yes, I found it. PCI codes. So with the plan that they did, the 5-year, the 10-year, they did the PCI numbers according to the full county. So they did it like on a curve. I think that's a good way to explain it. So when you look at the whole county as a PCI codes, which is the rating that grades the roads, right? And so they used it in full with the whole county. Now, that's not really equitable when it comes to our district. So when you look at it from a district's perspective, we are like a 17, others are like 30 or 40. And so I've asked Glenn, and I'm going to ask him also when it comes to our budget or whatever, that our district as a 17 PCI code would drastically improve the county's PCI code if we worked in our district. So, and that's one thing that I noticed, and when we discussed it before, that was part of the issue I had, because not only did they say they were going to do ours first, and they switched it, but the PCI code, the actual, what average, didn't seem accurate, and so now I see why. So, just wanted to make that too, statement too. So, all right.
Supervisor Crandall, quick question. So you are on RCRC, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so are you aware that RCRC is supporting Assembly Bill 1156, which would change the Williamson Act for solar easements? Are you?
Yeah, I heard them talk about
okay.
it.
All right.
And I think that one might have been like one of those votes. I'll have to look at the vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you were aware of it, because they're going to change the rules around Williamson Act to allow for solar easements, which could potentially take ag land out of ag production.
And that doesn't seem like something RCRC would commonly do, so not remembering that one per se.
Yeah,
but I'll look at
they
it.
kind of put it as they were aiming towards unproductive ag land or non-producing. But, once you take ag land out, you don't get it back, that.
Well, maybe they could use timber land, because that's not being used for anything.
Yeah,
but
I just wanted to know.
I'm going to no, they're having the MODOC meeting, and I'm not going to that because we have budgets that week, so I won't be going to that.
Okay,
that
well, if you
one
can reach
till
out to
August.
RCRC and get more information about it,
Yeah, I can.
that'd be great.
All right.
EJ,
Yes.
Potter Valley project, is there any forward motion from Army Corps of Engineers to take over the dam?
Not as of yet. No.
Because that seems to be a,
That's what the Department of Interior discussion will
Okay.
be about as well.
and
once we get
Congressman Thompson, is he involved with that too?
He is involved. He was in the video accentuating his support, and he's been getting us into a lot of these meetings, aside from this one with the current administration. But yeah, he's been.
What's his position on Potter Valley?
He wants to support us in the
Keep the dam?
video. Well, he just said he wants Lake County. I didn't really hear him say he wanted to keep the dam, but I heard him say he wants Lake County to be
Politician,
right? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. What's that? What about it?
Just a update.
A recap of what we talked about?
Yeah.
So we went over basically the same presentation that we did with a little more enhancements. Talking more about where we're at the FERC level, desiring to give comments to basically either slow it down or have them readdress at a different, with a very, more inclusive and synergistic type of meeting. So just basically having us at the table for once instead of having this no or yes, just how is this going to benefit everyone type of discussion. They seem reluctant to do so, and they don't really send anyone to come to our town halls except for people who are either activists or part of groups, which, that's fine. And they were pretty brave. They did a really good job. So, what we talked about the fire,
Bruno seemed to indicate strongly that
We can't hear you,
it was
sir.
not a dead issue.
Oh, it's not a dead issue because we keep bringing it up. We keep putting out media releases, and we're going to continue to comment to FERC and do what we can in that aspect. So, I mean, they can say it's a dead issue. They every time we come out with a meeting or a media statement or something, it's the same thing. They're going to point out something to make it look like it doesn't matter, but that's just what they've been doing the whole time. So, yeah, kind of used to that.
Okay.
We have about 5 more minutes
Okay.
for our meeting, so
I'm
let's.
stopping then. And then if you want to talk to me
Not
after,
to cut
I'll
you
be-
off, sir, but.
No, cut me off anytime.
Oh.
It's your meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Crandall. Supervisor Crandall. Thank you. Okay, we only have a couple more items. We have any new business that anyone would like to bring to our attention?
Don't forget the dump days this Saturday.
Dump days this Saturday. Bring your dump stuff.
8 to 1 here.
8 to 1 here.
Free.
Free, right. Always. Okay.
And if people need help, if you go onto the Earth website, or you can go onto the county's webpage, for people that need assistance, you can call, there's a phone number to call, and they'll have somebody come and help you.
But there's a flyer up there too with all this information.
Flyer too,
There
yeah.
you go. Look at the website, get a flyer, call a number. Get involved. All right, any announcements to be made?
I just got a statement
Oh,
I'd like
wait.
to make it, real quick. Anybody that has a complaint, go on the county website. I've done it about 5 times. And I've gotten an answer within 24 hours from code enforcement. Not only are they getting an answer, they're sending the letters to the property owners. So it helps to put those complaints in, and they're answering them right away.
Thank you.
Okay?
Great. All right, Margot, I see Margot at the stand.
Ho, 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 Earth, 'tis the season
Oh,
for disaster preparedness
aha.
and first aid for your mind to get prepared for disaster season and to how to deal with stress before and during and after disaster. These brochures are available to you courtesy of the state of California and the Scotts Valley Band of Pomo Indians Disaster Services. Copies of these brochures are on the back table. Be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Margot Camber.
Thank you.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
I don't need a microphone. Yes, sir, you do.
yes. Can you please go to the...
Well, while he's waiting, I'll just, while you're bringing him the microphone, I'll just say that the Clear Lake Oaks Glen Haven Business Association is holding a family fun in the park day at Nylander Park on July 3rd from 11 to 5, just before the fireworks, which will be after sunset. They're looking for vendor and food trucks, and there is a flyer up there.
All right.
Andrew Bickham, is it working? Property owner in Clear Lake Oaks. Is there somebody you could call to help clean up your yard when you have acres of land that need to be taken care of?
You're talking about the dump days? So basically...
Well, no, I understand the dump days.
Okay.
I'm talking about fire preparedness, cutting trees, weed eating around your property that...
Code enforcement. Send in a complaint to code enforcement. They've been given answers right away, so.
And if you live in a community that has a Firewise community, you can reach out to them too. There are some Firewise, some areas
he
around here
lives
that have
here,
Firewise
so
communities
there's no-
in Clear Lake Oaks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is a link to the code enforcement complaint form on the Earth website, too.
Okay.
This is Tom Lasik. On the question that was just asked, that was actually discussed in the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday. There was a couple organizations that reported to the board. I would encourage you to go to PEG TV. It's an awesome service. Look that up and you can get the names of the organizations that are providing services for those who can least afford abatement. And they can either help or direct you to places that could be. I don't know the full details, but that was discussed explicitly at yesterday's meeting.
Thank you, Tom. All right, any other announcements? All right.
I'll make it real quick. Thomas Aceves. I know we're not in Nice, but if you have friends or relatives that live there, any people that vote for the Nice Mutual Water Company, which our water source, I am running for the board. I've been going to the meetings for the past couple years. I've tried to run a couple times, but if you know anybody, I'm running for it, and it's check mark for Thomas, and I would be real helpful if you spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's in Nice, the Nice Mutual, but maybe people have friends, relatives that vote in that water share, it's a shareholder So I'd love to get on the board to bring new energy to our great little water company. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Close it up.
All right, and I take it that's it for the announcements. Our next Earth meeting will be Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025, here at the Moose Lodge, starting at 4 o'clock, ending at 5:30. And we'd like to thank you all for coming and participating. This is what it's about. And we will see you then, and I'm adjourning the meeting, and the time is 5:46. Thank you.
You talk too much.